All right, so I'm about 64 pages left to go reading the Bible, and these are like there's about nine more books. They're real small books. I read three yesterday. The I read Hosea, Joel, and Amos. Okay, so Hosea. This is real interesting. So I had somebody actually challenging me that most of the books of the Bible are um, they're people that weren't actually there. They're just rewriting somebody else's story. Maybe it was going about by word of mouth for a long time, or uh, you know they're you know they may as well be making it up, okay, because they weren't there, okay. And then uh, somebody else uh, has told me that that the you know what you're hearing of God isn't God. It's the characters of God. It's there, and everything that they're doing is filtered through their personality, whether it's um, you know Abraham, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, you uh, and, from there, right? Well, see, God takes Hosea, and God dictates, go marry that prostitute, right? And so now this guy's writing of God is with that personal experience of having an unfaithful wife. And it's anger and hurt and, but you still love them, but they just won't act right. It's worse than raising a 2 year old, right? And, uh, and man, it really resonates with me. Oh my God. My first wife, when we separated and she was going out and she was going, you know, she was speed dating on eHarmony and Match.com, right? And she's telling me how she goes out to the club and these guys they open the door for her and they pull the chair out for her and they're just not, and I'm like they yeah, because they want some, right? And well, then years later, right? She's after the 11th relationship that I was aware of, and I wasn't trying to keep track. I didn't care. We weren't connecting on Facebook or nothing, but everybody else was telling me, right? But I didn't care, you know. And she's like, "I'm done, Ben." They only want one thing, right? and and so I understand where Hosea is coming from totally. In the but here's the thing: God told him to go find that harlot wife, so he'd understand. I was telling one of my buddies who's having marital problems right now. You know, um, God. He wants us to have his experience. He wants us to understand what he understands, right? And it's like the craziest thing. You can love them. You can love them women, and you can care about them, right? But it ain't gonna love them back, right? It takes a God miracle to make that happen. Okay, and um, and God does that. He does those things. He can control the situation. There you go. All right. So then there was Howell. Now Howell is rewriting um, the accounts from uh, all the way back to Moses. Okay, but we're way past that. We're past David and Solomon and Hosea and Amos and he's talking about um, even the family of King Ahmed, right? They married Jezebel, right? And he's going way back to there, right? And then and then the same thing with Amos, right? They're just bringing up, the Jews, and even the Bible in the Old Testament, they like to talk about how they turned against God, and they like to beat themselves up. Okay, so that's my summary on those three books, and it's amazing. Um, it's amazing. You could look at what's going on today in our political climate, and and it's gonna get bad. There's things that are gonna come out that are gonna be they're gonna be ugly. They're gonna be, yeah, people. There's some people gonna wish they didn't go there, right? But I guess if they don't come out, I mean, you can look in the Bible. The Jews had to learn over and over again, what happens when you step away from God.